Rebellions are built on hope.
Welcome to Season 4 of Radio Rebellion, a Star Wars podcast. We made it after 75 episodes. I can't believe it. We made it to Season 4. Here we are with our friend Meg. She just had to be back. She was here a few weeks ago. As soon as I said, hey, I'm going to make a video about masks and helmets, the first one to write, I love helmets, was Meg. So Meg, thank you for being here. Thanks for joining us again.
Of course, it's so good to be back. And I will yell about helmets all day, every day. So yeah, you picked me for the right topic, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I love helmets. If people out there follow me on Twitter, especially Instagram, I'll keep posting all my helmet pics. I think every day I get from work, I gotta put one on just to kind of mellow out a little bit. I love your background. You posted a little bit earlier that you had an issue getting your background ready. What happened?
So the bookcase behind me is all built in, and so it's attached to the wall, and it's all the shelves are held together with like little brackets. So I was taking the books off of the one behind me so I could put the helmets on it, and both of the brackets just popped off for some reason. Don't know why. Thankfully, I fixed it. We're all good. Otherwise, the shelf just would have just looked crooked. So, we're good. We avoided the disaster. So yeah.
Yeah, and it didn't happen during the live show, which again is something that does happen once in a while. There was I don't know if it was the last episode I did with you or one of the last ones that I did, like 10 seconds after I said, okay, thanks for everyone, see you later. I hit end broadcast, about 5 seconds later, my lights and my microphone, a little shelf I have, everything fell down.
No.
At least I was out. So yeah, it
no. Yeah. Well, if everything behind me suddenly just topples over, I won't feel so bad.
Yeah, but yeah, we're gonna talk about helmets. You got your helmets back there. I have some of my helmets out here, the little black series up there, which I love. You see those tiny ones. I think I have all of them. But yeah, we have a lot of fun. But before we get into our main topic, did you do any Star Wars thing this week? Or I know you have a live stream coming up after this one. You got another show?
Yeah. If and only if you have read Tempest Runner, we will be talking about it on Followers of the Force at 7 Eastern. What time is it? I don't know. Yeah, but we will. It is a full spoiler review. So come listen and participate in the discussion in the chat if you have read the book or listened to the book or whatever you want to call it. If not, you still should, because it's very good. So I spent a lot of my week was digesting that piece of wonderful Star Wars literature, because it is very good. Have you listened to it yet?
Yes, I did finish it.
You did because you reviewed it. I saw that.
I might jump in. I'll try to jump in on the chat a little bit. I'm going to be talking about it actually 2 weeks from now. My beloved is going to be joining us to do a spoiler review of it. Maybe Hannah. I know she's busy with her firefighting training, which is awesome. Yes. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about it in 2 weeks. Again, it came and Scott, the High Republic. It's a certain hit right now. So it's a great book, great learning more about Lorna D. The book threw in a few surprises. I didn't know where it was gonna go. But again, by the end, she's positioned same as Out of the Shadow. I'm not gonna spoil it, but in Out of the Shadow, she positioned herself, and I think she made another move in this one. So mark you on roll. So you gotta watch out for Lorna. You don't know what's coming.
Yep.
For me, apart from preparing for the new season, because I've been out for 2 weeks, like I mentioned before we started, great being out, great taking time, I should say. We all should. We all know mental happiness and all that. We gotta take care of ourselves, mental health. And it wasn't nothing like that. I always like taking breaks. I learned that throughout all the 70 plus episodes. Taking a few breaks here and there is always good. Yeah. But I wanted to be back. A lot of Star Wars news. We'll cover a few of them. But I was lucky enough, and I posted this on Instagram. I'm known as the Star Wars person at work, which most of us are known as the Star Wars person at work. So my work group went to those payday happy hours, and they went to a local brewery, Black Adder Brewery in Gainesville. And then got me this little cat with their Darth Vader helmet and lightsaber. So That's good. It's gonna go somewhere, that sticker. And let's just go. So if you guys are ready, I'm not ready. Let's talk Star Wars, and we're starting with a little bit of Star Wars news. Where's my Star Wars news? Here we go. Star Wars news. All right, we're gonna start. Like I'm doing a bunch of Star Wars news this past week. Just gonna cover a few of them just real quickly, not spending a lot of time on them. But the first one that just came out about 2 weeks ago, the official trailer for Star Wars Visions, which just looks absolutely great. This new animated series that's coming out late in September. I think like the 22nd or 23rd, we're getting Star Wars Vision. All 9 episodes are dropping. But we got the official trailer a few weeks ago. So, Meg, when you saw this trailer, I guess first, were you excited for Star Wars Visions? And once you saw this trailer, what did you thought about it?
Because we've known about this for a while, so I was looking forward to like just seeing kind of like what it was about, and just like how it was going to be different. When I saw this trailer, I immediately went from like, oh, this is going to be cool to why do we have to wait another month? Can I see this now?
Exactly.
I'm not like a huge anime person. Like I've seen enough of it, but not like as much as I would have liked to. But this just looks absolutely wild in the best way possible. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see all of it. And we get all of it at once, which I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of would have liked to maybe have like one a week. I think that would be interesting, even though they're short. I wouldn't have minded like spreading it out, but also I think there's value in like seeing it all at once, just because it's all different studios, all different styles, and I don't know exactly what to expect beyond the trailer, and that's a good thing. I cannot wait.
Yeah, I think this dropped right as the Bad Batch was finishing up. So it was, oh, what's next for Star Wars? Here you go. You thought it was Book of Boba Fett? No, Star Wars Visions, in case you guys forgot about it. I used to watch some anime growing up, so I really haven't kept up with it. I wasn't the biggest fan. I do love the ones that I've seen, but seeing this, again, seeing a different style for Star Wars is always cool. Like Bad Batch, Clone Wars, Rebels, Resistance all have a different look, but this style is completely different. So I'm really interested in what's going to be. Like you said, I don't know if it's best to drop all of it at once, because there are shorts, but we don't know if this is a 10-minute short, if it's going to be 22. We have no idea how long these shorts or how short these shorts are going to be. So if they're a 9-minute story, then give us everything at the same time. If they're half an hour or 25 minutes, maybe spreading it out. But we'll see. Very interested and excited for Star Wars Visions coming out. Again, I think it's the 22nd, 23rd. I don't know. Late September. All right, so other Star Wars news. And if you're a fan of the comics, I'm sure you were very happy. And fan of Solo like myself and Book of Boba Fett, we got the news of a new comic series by Charles Soule called Crimson Reign that follows Kira. She's back. Sorry if you didn't know. She made her return in the first episode, the first issue of War of the Bounty Hunters. She came back. I haven't followed War of Bounty Hunter. I got that first one, but she's a big player in this series. And now she's jumping into her own comic series. And then Charles Soule's kind of talked that he has this trilogy planned for her. And I believe this is Crimson Reign is going to be the second part. So I don't know what he has planned. I love Solo. So this does get me interested. Again, it's more Star Wars literature out there. Excited. I'll see if I get into it because there's so many comics. It's hard sometimes, but more Kira is always good, right?
Yes, absolutely. I remember when the first War of the Bounty Hunters comic came out, and she just appeared out of nowhere. I didn't think it was real at first. I had heard that it was going to happen, and then I saw it on the page, and I was like, "Really? Like we're not getting a Solo sequel, but we're getting this," which is great because the more I think about it, the more the comics are a perfect place to develop her story more because there's just a lot that they can do with her. But I never expected her to get her own comic, but I'm glad she is because like Soule said in the interview of the announcement, War of the Bounty Hunters is like, it's heavily Boba Fett's story, and it's great to have Kira in there, but to give her her own series and to make her like the central point of that, and to be able to tell her story like from her perspective, it's going to be really, really good. I am notoriously behind on every single Star Wars comic that is out right now. I don't think I've read, other than War of the Bounty Hunters, I don't think I've kept up with a comic in almost a year. I just am so behind on everything. There's a lot of comics. There's a lot of comics going on at once, which is, it's good and it's overwhelming. It's fine. I'm fine. But
yeah, that's one of the things that I might do a whole show about it at some point soon. It's there's so much Star Wars to consume right now that if you want to be kind of involved in all of it, it is a little bit daunting because you start getting behind, and then do I even try to jump back in, forget about it, or what if something happens? So it's we gotta kind of balance all that stuff. But War of the Bounty Hunters, unfortunately for me, I got spoiled on Kira's return. I heard, because I was interested because Boba Fett, as you can see back there on my hat, is my guy. So when I heard that this comic series was coming out and by Charles Soule, of course I'm gonna be interested.
Right.
And then when that first issue dropped, a lot of people were talking, "Hey, you gotta go check this out quick, don't get spoiled." Like 8 in the morning, so I went to Comixology, I bought it. By the time it downloaded, my fault, I guess, for being on Twitter so early, and someone posted a picture. It wasn't even mentioned. They posted a picture, and I really, really did. But I still got it ready. A great return for her. So very interesting what Crimson Reign is going to be, and then what the end of this trilogy that Charles Soule has planned. So just have to wait a few more weeks, and this comes out as soon as War of Bounty Hunter ends around October, I think. Then this one drops pretty quickly.
Yeah.
All right, so the final news story that we're going to cover, of course, we're going to talk about it, and it's that Disney Gallery Mandalorian Season 2 finale, when we got to see the return of Mark Hamill. Luke Skywalker made his return in Season 2 finale of Mandalorian, and we finally got to see this behind the scene of how they were able to make it happen. Everyone knows now they use Plo Koon as the foil, just in case people thought they might kind of leak. They made this picture of Plo Koon that Dave Filoni loves and all that stuff. Great seeing Mark Hamill back. Great seeing that technology that they tried using that didn't work, and then what they did use. So were you excited to see this footage, and are you happy with what was presented, like, I don't know, 6 months after Mandalorian has come and gone?
I really haven't been like into I love behind the scenes things in general, and I just, again, with being behind on everything, I hadn't gotten to a lot of the behind the scenes Mandalorian stuff yet. But knowing that they were going to dedicate like an entire behind the scenes episode to just the finale, I was in, because the finale, the season 2 finale is just so packed with everything, and so good. And even the fact that just Luke Skywalker, the version of him that we got, was there, I was really interested. And the other thing that really got me hooked is just, I could listen to Dave Filoni talking about Star Wars forever. He could just talk about it constantly and never stop, and I would be fine. So I'm always really just interested to hear his perspective on, why they make the decisions they do. And I mean, he's in the role he's in for a reason. He understands Star Wars on a level that possibly only George Lucas does. So to hear his perspective on like why certain creative decisions are made and why certain things happen, it just makes me appreciate the storytelling and Star Wars as a whole so much more. And that's really why I was really excited for this. I hope they keep doing this. They've been doing it with other shows too on Disney Plus, and I hope I really like that, because I think it adds something more. You get the whole show, you get the experience, and then you get that, however many minutes it might be of listening to the creators talk about their thing that they made. And that just makes me really happy.
Yeah, always love behind the scenes. And getting to see this was great. This was one of those questions when the first behind the scenes came out for season 2. They didn't talk about the finale, and I'm sure everyone, that's what they wanted to hear about.
Right.
So I don't know why they waited so long, guessing they didn't want to spoil it. Even again, they waited. Mandalorian ended last year. I believe it was last year. I don't even know or earlier this year. And then we got this now in August. it was great seeing Mark Hamill back. Like you said, hearing Dave Filoni talk about Star Wars, he made a comment that got some people riled up between Ahsoka and Luke Skywalker. We won't get into it, but that's for those people to kind of argue about. Of course, Ahsoka is more trained. Okay, whatever. It was great seeing that. I grew up with Luke Skywalker. He was my favorite Jedi, my favorite character for 20 years almost, but whatever. That's another show. We'll do it. Ahsoka versus Luke.
Yes,
but then it's a comment and people just go nuts. But it was great seeing that technology behind it, right? We didn't know if Mark Hamill was there actually playing Luke Skywalker. He was there. They had this double, I forget the name of the young actor that was there. They tried doing the deep fake. It really wasn't working. They de-aged. They did all this different stuff, which was really exciting to learn. And also how the technology is going to be moving forward. John Favreau talked about the positive and negative about this deep fake and what their role should be as creators, which is very interesting and it's nice to hear someone say things like that, not just let's just do it because the technology is there. There's something that they need to be kind of pushing to make sure people don't go out of control with it. That also makes us think what's going to be the future Star Wars when they're kind of dedicating so much to this deep fake technology. What else can we see from characters that from the past that they might be able to bring to life? So it'll be interesting to see all that. So that's it for the news. So if you guys are in the chat, let us know what you thought about this news topic. And of course, we're going to be jumping in right now talking about masks and helmets. Let us know what your favorite helmets are, why you love them so much. Am I spoiling myself by having a Boba Fett hat or my Darth Vader t-shirt? I don't know. We'll find out. But if this is your first time joining us, again, thank you so much. Make sure that you subscribe to the show. We try to do new episodes every Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Like the video whenever you get a chance to see this. And make sure to leave us a comment down below. And if you're listening to this on the other podcast, thank you also. And hope that listening to our voice makes your day go by better. But we're here to talk about helmets. Let's talk about helmets, our favorite helmets and masks in Star Wars. And of course, if we're talking helmets, I'm having my helmet on, and here we go. I have to wear hopefully you guys can hear me, it's the first thing, my Captain Cardinal helmet, which I see you have back there. You have one also, so So, there we go. I had to put my helmet on at least once, and I gotta get my hair back under control. It's a mess right now. Helmets for me is one of my favorite things in Star Wars, and it's one of those things. Every time a new movie comes out, we're always interested in what's in the new Stormtrooper gonna look like. It's gonna have a new design. When Rogue One, for example, came out, we had the Death Trooper, the Scarif, Shoy Troopers, the Tank Troopers, all those great designs, and we're always interested in them. So to me, helmets is right there with lightsabers and everything else that makes Star Wars Star Wars. But what is it about helmets that brings you in or draws you in, Meg?
For me, it's really what each helmet represents for that particular character. I just think it's so fascinating that like every character is wearing a helmet for a different reason. Sure. And like I really started thinking more about that during the Clone Wars TV show. Because like when the clones, like when you saw that they were like a lot of their helmets are what set them apart. Like they are decorated in different ways and kind of make them more individualized, which is something you didn't really see that much like in Attack of the Clones, for example, because like they were depicted specifically as like identical copies of each other, which that's literally a definition of clone. But it's just like there are so many helmets in Star Wars, and all of them are so different. Even like, as you said, the different designs of the Stormtrooper helmets, depending on what era it is. I know people who identify what era in Star Wars it is by what the Stormtrooper helmets look like. Yeah. And I think that's so cool because it's just like, it's an identifier of not just the era, but like what's happening in the universe at the time. if I could wear a helmet all the time, for whatever reason, I totally would. I don't know why. I just think it would be cool. I mean, I don't know.
They're just great. I get home, I put it on, I just walk around the house for a few minutes. Halloween is coming, next month. I don't have to worry about costume. I'm just gonna go out each day with one of my 3 helmets, a lightsaber, and I'm good. So yeah, helmets, and it's funny what you said that people kind of identify the era in Star Wars by the stormtroopers. Oh, how many times? So, oh, look at that stormtrooper. I'm like, no, that's a clone trooper. That's actually this era. Or no, that's a First Order stormtrooper. That's different. So I do get it, but it's something that we all love. We all enjoy. Helmet collection is through the roof. A lot of people love collecting helmets. A lot of cosplay out there make their own helmets, their own armor, and all that stuff. But mainly for me, they look cool. Main reason I got into Boba Fett is because he looked cool. And what was it? The helmet that he was wearing. So yeah, helmets are just awesome. So, which is funny also when you said there's so many helmets. When I've been thinking about doing a helmet only show for months since last year. So that's fine. I'll just pick my favorite helmets. When I finally decided, all right, I'm going to do it starting season 4, let me pick my 5 favorite helmets. It wasn't easy.
No.
I went through that list probably like 20 times. And even when I had my honorable mention that we're going to go in a few minutes, my top 5, it changed. I think I had a helmet number 2. It went back to honorable mention because I couldn't.
Yeah.
And I cheated. I'm sorry, I cheated. But the thing is, if we might just pick all 5 different type of Mandalorian helmets as our favorite, or different type of clone trooper helmets, or regular stormtroopers. So I had to pick one from each era, more or less, just to pick a little, because I could say, well, Captain Rex and the Phase 2 or Phase 1 and Mandalorian. So you can go through all the list, and then that's it. So I had to pick one.
Yeah.
So let's start with honorable mentions, because there's so many. We don't want to leave anyone behind and make them feel bad. Do you want to start with some of your honorable mentions and maybe a little bit about why there's some of your favorite helmets?
Yeah. One that I thought of, that I really wanted to put in my top 5, but I had to choose. I had to pick. Are the clone trooper helmets painted like Ahsoka, or painted like her face. When we first saw that, it made me so. Most of my reasoning is emotional because I am who I am. But it made me so emotional just to see how much she meant to them. And then later, obviously, spoilers for the end of Clone Wars. Sorry. They actually, spoilers for all of Star Wars, I guess. They end up turning on her, and how terrifying is it to be against someone that is literally wearing your face? That's great, awesome. And then the end shot with the helmet in the snow, I will never forget that. That's one of my Star Wars favorites at this point. So
it's a whole trajectory, just that whole Ahsoka helmets, like you mentioned. And then that ending, her burying everyone, putting the helmets up and the sticks, is something that will stay with you. And it's good that you said. I was going to ask, as we got closer to our top 5, what your criteria was for selecting yours, and for you was more the emotional connection you had to them.
Yeah, and I think a lot about a lot of the helmets that I picked look cool, admittedly. But for me, it's more representative of who is this person? What is their identity? What does this helmet mean to them? That's kind of what I kind of went with, because otherwise I would just pick all the helmets that I think looked cool, and that's all of them. So
so that's what I did. So that's why this show is about, having fun. I try not to go too much into deep diving, which I can if needed. There are other people that do it better. You guys, Larger Beauty Force, he goes extremely deep on everyone. But one of the problems I had trying to decide, because I had some that the reasons I'm going to talk about, some of my honorable mentions were Kylo Ren, Captain Phasma, and Fist Nest. There's reasons behind those helmets, and that's why I had them. But then it's also, okay, well, there's some that look cool that I would wear. So my reason at the end, when I said, okay, I got to really nail down this top 5, was which ones would I wear? If I got the chance to wear just 5 Star Wars helmets, which ones would it be? And those were the ones I picked because I just couldn't. this other thing, do I just go with the classics? Because Darth Vader, that's the first one we ever saw. Of course, Stormtroopers, they're also a classic. I'm just putting them because they're classic or because I really like them. It was very hard. I had to go with which one would I wear? And I just wore this one. Will this one make the list? I don't know. But for honorable mentions, real quick, Kylo Ren, like I mentioned, that we might talk a little bit more later, it just really represents to him. If you watch the movies, you know there's some people that tell him, take that helmet off, you just look ridiculous. I just want to look at my kid. Every time he takes his helmet off, he's exposed. And when he puts it on, that's the darkness inside him. So there's that connection with the helmet. And even through the Rise of Kylo Ren comic book, there's also with the original Ren and that helmet and everything. Then Enfys Nest, again, if my mom still wore the mask. So anyone that has those beliefs can really be Enfys Nest and kind of move that story forward. He just looked extremely cool with all the kind of Native American kind of design of it. Was pretty awesome. And just finally, Motion Rowe, whatever, however you want to pronounce his name.
However it's pronounced.
Yeah, it's because Charles Soule, who created the characters, is Markian Rowe, but everyone that reads it on the novel so it says Martian, so we'll figure it out at some point. But he has a very cool helmet, two designs. So those also make that is the Inquisitor's helmet are so awesome, especially the second sister and the seventh sister, I believe. Those are some of my favorite helmets. But unfortunately, they didn't make the list. So let's just get into it. So for you, Meg, which one was your fifth favorite helmet? I'm just gonna, you can talk as we do. Oh,
Yeah.
wait. I just spoiled it. That means
No.
oh, there we go. This is what I wanted.
Oh, Din Djarin. Oh, I love him. He needs some help, but I love him. You know what? I will try not to go super deep on why I love this helmet, because like at the surface, it's just so simple. And I love that. Because to me, that speaks a lot to who he is in terms of like, yes, I'm going to identify myself as a Mandalorian because this is who I am. But within all of the Mandalorians or what's left of them, I would like to not stand out. Like his helmet is very like just plain, and that's just it. I just love it. I don't have one of these yet. And it is probably next on my list whenever I get another helmet, because I this is like the one that I'd be like, I want to wear this. I would like to wear this around. I don't know what it is about it other than that. Just it. And I just love the character. That's also that's also a common reason of my top 5 why I picked them. Because the characters under the helmets are some of my favorites. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Din Djarin's helmet, again, iconic. People that didn't really follow Star Wars that much got into it through The Mandalorian, and they see the helmet and they know who it is. And of course, it mirrors my guy Boba Fett, mirrors the other Mandalorian helmet, so it's very familiar to us. But like you said, it's understated. Even though it's extremely shiny, but it doesn't have all those colors or extreme designs that we've seen before from other Mandalorians. And of course, the whole reason behind that first season, don't take your helmet off, and all that kind of plays with that importance to the helmet with him. So for me, my number 5 favorite helmet or mask, we also did mask. I think this is more of a mask kind of combo. It's the guy, it's General Grievous. Yes, I love that design. I love everything about General Grievous' design. I love his time in Revenge of the Sith, in the Clone Wars television series. I don't know, just something new that we haven't seen in Star Wars. You can still see his eyes behind it. There's a reason he needs the mask just to what happened? Oh, I guess we lost Meg. Hopefully she'll join us back in a few minutes. But or she comes back up. Yeah, General Grievous helmet or mask is one of my favorites. Like I said, kind of mirrors his biological design. I forgot the species that he is. If you guys know, just let me know on the chat real quick. And yeah, again, General Grievous helmet is one of my favorites. And I think that's it. We'll wait for Meg if she is able to join us. If not, I'll jump in with my number 4. And in the meantime, again, if you guys, anyone that's out there in the chat, let us know what your favorite helmets are in Star Wars and why you love them so much. All right, so while we wait for Meg, let me take a little sip. All right, so let's jump into my number four. So my number four helmet, I have it right here. It is the original one, number four, Darth Vader. So yes, oh there she is. All right, let's bring her back up. Hi Meg, you did it.
It
Yeah,
was
you didn't like
me.
my pick. That was it. You didn't like my pick for number five. General Grievous just
I
had
hated it. I hated it so much. I just left.
All right, so yeah, like I was saying, General Grievous' design, that mask was just menacing when he came out in Revenge of the Sith. That close up when he's gonna fight Kenobi is one of my favorite shots in that last movie of the prequel trilogy. So yeah, General Grievous is for me one of those great designs. What do you have to say about the old General G?
Yeah, his mask is cool. He's great. Actually, if anyone listening listen to the one of the most recent followers of the Force episodes, Grievous wasn't treated so great by our beloved Obi-Wan Kenobi. If you want to know what that's about, you should listen to that because I do honestly have more respect for General Grievous than I ever did. No, but his whole design is just amazing.
Yeah.
And also terrifying. I posted a picture of the Grievous Funko that I got not that long ago, and someone commented, they're like, "This is terrifying to look at," and I'm like, you know what? You're right.
Yeah, that Funko Pop is kind of weird. I don't have one for Grievous, which is surprising because I love the character.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Funko Pop is kind of terrifying.
Oh,
but,
yeah. Because I mean, they make the heads huge and just the proportions of the
yeah, and the arms. You don't know holding the lightsabers and the little spider arms or cockroach. I don't know. It looks weird.
Yeah, it
I'll
does.
probably get it when I see it. All right, so while you were out, I did say my number four, so I'll keep going. It was Darth Vader. So Darth Vader is my number four, my fourth favorite helmet. I just lost something here. Let me show the little graphic again. Darth Vader! So look at that. So Darth Vader's design changed a little bit throughout the three original trilogy movies, a little bit different also in Rogue One. And of course, in Rebels, I do love the Rebels design. And one of my little helmets, I can't get it because my earphones are going to fall off. The design of the Rebels Darth Vader helmet is extremely cool. But if I had to put one of the classics, it had to be the original one. Talk about menacing. One of the first things we see in A New Hope is Darth Vader coming through this hallway and just wrecking shop, choking everyone that steps on his way, just walking over dead people. So Darth Vader helmet, probably one of the most iconic helmets out there.
Yeah, and there's nothing else in Star Wars like it. Whereas like a lot of helmets are, they're different designs, but they're of the same general like idea. But that one, there is no other, and I love that because like and it's so iconic that you see it and you instantly know like, oh, that's Darth Vader. Even if you're not a Star Wars fan, like even before I was really into Star Wars, I'm pretty sure I knew who Darth Vader was. So
it's one of those things. Again, even if you don't know, you see that helmet, that's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Don't get in on his way down an empty hallway.
Yeah.
You never know what he might do.
Don't mess with that guy. Don't do it.
Yeah. Star Wars and hallways and bad guys, just stay away. See them walking, just let them go.
Just stay out of hallways in Star Wars in general.
Yeah, that's a good rule of thumb. Yeah. All right, so let's jump back to your number four, and we're gonna have fun talking about this one.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love this helmet, and I love Kylo Ren in Rise of Skywalker just because like he's still trying so hard to be the bad guy, which he is. Yeah. But the whole point of the design of this helmet is he is desperately reaching to really hold on to this identity, and it's not working. His helmet is literally broken, and you can tell. And I love that design just because it just shows how much he wants this, or how much he's convinced himself he wants to remain the leader of the First Order and to have this kind of dominance over the galaxy when like he's still being pulled in all kinds of different directions. And we finally see what happens when he's just pushed over the edge. Because, in The Last Jedi, we thought, oh, the helmet's broken. Like, this is it. Oh, no.
No, that's fine. You're fine.
Oh, I thought you left.
No, I didn't pull the same trick on you.
No, you're good. You can if you want to. It doesn't matter. Just okay. Yeah, I just yeah, I think I have that Funko somewhere. And I love the red on the black too, like that contrast. That's the looking cool part of my number 4.
Yeah, watching that little monkey Sith alchemist trying to put that helmet back together was really fun.
Yeah.
But yes, like Kylo Ren was one of the ones that was right there on that top 5. I just had to notch it down.
Yeah.
But that helmet means so much to him in terms of I am the bad guy. I'm one with the dark side because, and I'm not the first one to say it, every time he removes his helmet, he's vulnerable, right? It started with Rey in The Force Awakens when he takes his helmet off, and then she's able, he tries to reach into her mind, which he does, but she's able to push back. When then he meets Han Solo and he tells her, hey, take that helmet off or take that mask off. Oh, you're afraid what you see? No, I want to see the face of my son. Of course, in Last Jedi, it's no just, you're just a child in a mask. Take that ridiculous thing off. But then he's killed both of them. He's like, screw this. I'm going to do me. Like they say, you do you. I'm going to do me. I'm going to put my helmet back on. It's black. What can be cooler? Just put some red on it. Right. But it means something to him, like you said. It's him trying to hold on to that darkness that he thinks he has. But, he's broken just like his helmet. But and that Kylo Ren helmet it's pretty awesome. Yeah. All right. So why don't you keep going with your number 3? Let me get that ready. Okay. So your number 3 helmet.
Oh, I might talk about this one for a while. I actually have, I actually have, because there is no Black Series Phasma helmet. Like if you want a Phasma helmet, you have to do what I did, which is I went to Etsy, which is a very dangerous place. If you're not willing to spend a lot of money, don't go there. And I had a custom Phasma helmet made, which is behind me over there. I'm blocking it. There it is. Yeah. So I will not spoil the very end of the Phasma novel if you're watching and haven't read it, because the way that she gets her armor and her helmet to look the way that it does is it's like my favorite Star Wars thing ever, because you're sitting there reading this and you're like, you have got to be kidding me. But it makes like the novel itself is great, but it makes reading the whole story through to the end worth it, because it's just the culmination of her character transitioning from where we see her in this book to what we know her as in the sequel trilogy. It's so good. And please read that whole book and then read the end and then yell at me about how amazing it is, because it is. But I love that she saw the design of the First Order Stormtrooper helmets and she was like, yeah, cool, that's awesome, but I want mine to be different. It's just so her, because she does not want to blend in with the rest. She would like to be known and honored for who and what she is and what she has become. So she wears this helmet that is reflective and it's very hard to destroy, which good job, Finn, I guess. And I love that part in The Last Jedi, by the way, where you only see a very small part of her face, because they did it in Rebels too. It's fine. It's a good device. But it's her you finally see like, oh, she's not this faceless enemy. She's a person. There is someone behind that armor, underneath that helmet. And I would like to believe that she's still here somewhere. It's fine. But I just, body, right? Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. she's a hashtag Phasma lives. But I just love everything about this helmet. And this was the first helmet that I collected. And it's so good. It makes me happy every time I see it. That's why I have it. Yeah. So I won't spoil, and again, like you said, I'll try not to spoil anything about that Phasma novel, which is a great novel by Delilah S. Dawson. Yeah. And there is so much importance behind why she wears a helmet. And like you said, when that happens in The Last Jedi, that we see part of her face,
if you read the novel, you know what that means.
Mhm.
So yes, again, those one of those helmets seems like Kylo Ren and even Din Djarin that there's a reason. We're not just wearing it because it looks cool or I want to protect my face, which of course is part of it. But there's a big reason why they wear it. And for Captain Phasma, it is a very important reason from her
Yep.
past, her upbringing, why she has that type of helmet. And construction of her helmet, where she got the material also pretty cool. And like you said, she was the first stormtrooper, let's say, with a different type of helmet that wasn't, or armor that wasn't just white,
Mhm.
until this guy came along,
Yep.
Captain Cardinal, also in the Phasma novel,
Yep.
that you kind of learn why they have different color armor. But again, that Phasma helmet is just so cool. I have that little one, like I said, back there. I can't see it back there. Also on my, let me see, can you see? It's a little, oh, there you can just see
There
her
you go.
legs back
Yeah.
there. There's,
Yeah.
I can point somewhere back there. There. No, that's the other one. All these cameras. There you go. There is Captain Phasma and the Funko Pop are somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of the first things I bought when The Force Awakens was coming out. That Force Friday, that today marks the 5-year, 6-year anniversary of Force Friday. That's the first thing I got was that Phasma. One of the first things. Great design, like I said. New Stormtrooper Phasma. I believe she was kind of a design for Kylo Ren or for the bad guy that ended up just going to a Stormtrooper,
Mhm.
a special Stormtrooper, I should say.
Yeah.
All right, so my number 3, and here's where I cheated. I said I was gonna cheat. I'm sorry, I did cheat for my number 3, but you understand why. We've mentioned it before. It's hard to pick one type of Mandalorian armor, and I had to do this. You'll agree. You'll say, okay, those are good picks. I hope. So my number 3 picks. There you go, Goy Saxon and Bo-Katan. I couldn't. It's almost impossible for me to pick a favorite Mandalorian helmet. Sorry, Boba Fett, I love you. And there's a question coming soon about that. But Goy Saxon helmet, it's come on, it's like we say, it's black. It's got that orange kind of yellow visor, that Darth Maul helmets coming out when he wasn't in charge.
Mhm.
It's just one of the greatest design out there. And the Bo-Katan, I like Bo-Katan in Rebels. I like Bo-Katan in Clone Wars. But when I saw her in live action, it just floored me. Because, and again, hate me if you want out there. I became more of the Mandalorian culture fan just through watching that single episode in season 2, which is still one of my favorite episodes in all of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Just because seeing those 3 Mandos working together, not taking crap, just mowing the floor with all the stormtroopers and Imperial remnants, it made you kind of appreciate that Mandalorian culture, that warrior culture so much. Because even though we saw some of them in season 1, they really were just kind of mercenaries, everyone just working separately, trying to protect Mando. Here, the 3 of them were just a unit. And you can see Din Djarin kind of, well, what the hell is going on? How you guys know how to do all this? But it all starts with her and that design, that owl design is just, I loved it. And it became one of my favorite helmets out there.
It's so good.
Yeah. And Gar Saxon, it just looks cool. I have to put it there. All right, so let's jump to your number 2. Number 2, we're getting close. Wait, is this? Yeah, this is yours. Sorry. There we go. Number 2.
Oh, Sabine. Technically, you could count this also as cheating because she has like 4 different helmet designs.
That's why I have the 2 pictures there. I'm like, wait, I gotta get more than one.
Right, and I love them all equally. One of the great things about this design is it stands out from the moment that you first see her in Rebels. And, we'd seen Mandalorians before, but to see like this Mandalorian with this like brightly painted helmet, you kind of want to know like, what's up with this? What's up with this Mandalorian? Turns out a lot, and it's great. I also have this one because I can't have just one hard to find helmet. I don't know why they don't make a Sabine helmet like a Black Series one. They really need to. Of course, then they need to make 4. But you know what? I would probably buy all of them, and that's fine. I do what I want.
You bet how many you must.
I just love how important their designs are to her, and I love how wearing that helmet for her it's not just identifying her as a Mandalorian. It's her also being able to express who she is, and her her love for art and her talent and her the way that she sees the world. It just I just love it. And every time I see it, regardless of which version of it is, it just makes me so happy. And she's not, and the other thing with this particular character is that she's not always wearing it. And even that within like Rebels can really say a lot about like the state of things or what's happening. Like, why is she wearing the helmet? Why is she not, at different points? That is really important. Yeah, I love this one. I love the design, and I just love everything about it.
Yeah, like again, trying to pick a Mandalorian helmet as your favorite is hard. I have my list here. Mandalorian variants. I have Boba Fett, second one Sabine, Bo-Katan, Gar Saxon, and Din Djarin. It's hard. Those could be top 5 just right there.
Yeah.
And that Sabine one, it's so her. Like you see it, you know who's behind the helmet. It's just part of the character. And if we're talking about cool helmet designs, you can get better than that one. So
yeah,
that's a good choice for number 2. I wonder what's going to be your number 1.
I wonder what it is.
I wonder. But before we get to it, let's get to my number 2 helmet. Again, this is when it started getting even harder because I'll talk about it. No, I'll tease it a little bit more. When I got into Star Wars, like I said, Boba Fett is my favorite character, but the first thing I started collecting was Stormtroopers. That's what I really love, was collecting Stormtroopers, Black Series, Funko Pops, Hasbro, whatever, was Stormtroopers. Yeah, there's just a white and black design. They all look the same. I don't care. I want it because I love that Stormtrooper design so much. So picking a favorite Stormtrooper helmet or a variant of a Stormtrooper helmet was really, really difficult. I had to go with the ones that started it all, not timeline. Yeah, chronologically, I guess, or timeline. It's the Phase 1 Clone Trooper helmet. Bro, I threw a curveball. It's not a it's not a Stormtrooper. It's that Clone Trooper, that Phase 1. I'm sorry, it's my favorite quote-unquote Stormtrooper helmet because it's how all of them started.
Yep.
I had first the Show Troopers from Scarif. It's one of my favorite designs. The Death Trooper, of course. The real Stormtrooper. There's so much. Again, this guy here just with the red and black. And then the Evolution with Captain Phasma. Even the Mandalorians look a little bit similar. But that Clone Trooper design, that Phase 1, when they was introduced in Clone Wars, in Attack of the Clones, and then moving into the first couple of seasons of the Clone Wars, there's something from it that I just love so much. Like I said, my criteria was, would I wear those helmets? And I would wear the hell out of a Clone Trooper helmet, especially if it had a little color. The Rex one, Captain Rex, Clone Trooper Phase 1. Oh, come on, you gotta love them. So yeah, so that's my number 2, and I forgot to put. There we go. Phase 1 Clone Trooper helmet. So yeah, that's it. What are your thoughts on all the Clone Trooper helmets, and do you prefer Phase 1 or Phase 2? Because I know a lot of people do kind of lean more to the Phase 2 helmets.
I kind of. It's hard to pick. I do like Phase 1 just because it is like the original. There's something special about that to me, because it's the first one we see, and but I like that evolution, how it changes. So yeah.
All right. So we kind of teased it long enough. So let's jump now into our top helmets. So again, if you guys are in the chat, let us know. If you're watching this later on the replay, jump in the comments. Let us know what your favorite helmets are in Star Wars, and if you're listening to this later on the podcast, also either come to the video and let us know there, or send us a message on Twitter. You can find us there. So, without further ado, Meg Dowell's favorite Star Wars helmet, number 1. A surprise, maybe not.
No one is surprised. No one is surprised.
So, Bo-Katan, what? I'll just you can talk as long as you want.
Well, first let me talk. No, I won't talk about that yet. Never mind. We'll get there. I don't even know where to start. I just love the Night Owl design. I know, because like her helmet's not the only one that's kind of designed like this. They're all kind of this similar pattern, but hers, is so unique still to her. And I love Bo-Katan so much as a character that to not have this on my list would be terrible. It'd be terrible if I didn't. But I had to put it at the top, and I realize, yet I won't apologize for the fact that 3 of my 5 helmets are Mandalorian helmets. This is just who I am. It is becoming so iconic, especially with her now being in the Mandalorian. I would like to talk to you if your introduction to Bo-Katan was in the Mandalorian, if you'd never seen her in anything else before that, because I want to know your thoughts. Because she has gone as a character from being part of a terrorist group to becoming the leader of Mandalore to now becoming, what is she now? She's very confused and angry and similar to Din Djarin, needs some help. They need to help each other. I'm convinced that season 3 is going to be them helping each other figure it out, because both of them cannot survive alone. They need help. I will say, and I won't say too much about it now, but seeing that helmet in The Mandalorian in live action for the first time broke me in the best way possible. I was not a person for a minute. I was not okay. This helmet it means so much to me. And this is my dream helmet. I do not have one. I was planning on getting one this year, and that's probably not going to happen, but eventually I will, and it will be my favorite. Because it's even just like glancing over it. Like I have a Bo-Katan cardboard cutout, and she's holding her helmet, and I'm staring at it right now, and it's just looking at it makes me happy.
Yeah. Again, I have it. That's the only one. I told you we had the one that would match. It was Bo-Katan. Like I said, I love this design so much. And again, seeing it in live action just gives it a different feel. I don't know why. We all love animated Star Wars. It is important. It's a important medium out there, same as live action. But seeing it function, being just more wearable, the way she fights with it when wearing it, and then when she removes it. I don't know. There was something about seeing that helmet in live action that, at least for me, kind of took it to another level. I have my Bo-Katan Black Series because of that one. My Funko Pop with the helmet on. It's just a design. It's so great. So I do understand why you would choose it as your number one. Like I said, don't worry that most of yours are Mandalorian. I could have easily picked a top 5 Mandalorian also. But yeah, Bo-Katan, great choice as Meg Dowell's number 1 favorite helmet. All right, so here we go. So my favorite helmet is one that I know no one was going to be choosing this one or thinking I would choose this one as number 1. And I'll preface this by saying this might change. This whole list might change in 2 months. If I do another one, it might change. But this one just became my favorite one when I saw it. It didn't have a lot of screen time. But let me just put it out there. Maybe some of you guys don't even know. I've never seen this helmet. My number 1 helmet is the Sith Fleet Technician from The Rise of Skywalker. I'm sorry, I don't care if nobody knows who that character is. That's top tier Star Wars helmet. Has a little bit of Darth Vader with a little, is it a cow? I don't know what that is. It's red, it's black. It's cool. I don't talk about the deep meanings of helmet. I don't care. This is a cool helmet that I would wear every single day. I'll wear it to work. I'll get fired maybe. If not, I'll wear it again. But I'm gonna chill again. I'm gonna put the graphic again. There's something about this design. It's so simple, but it's just so damn cool looking.
I've never looked at it this much because I've seen it before, but I've never actually stared at it. And both times you showed it, I'm like, this is a cool helmet. I understand what this is your number 1.
So it's very quick in the movie. It's at the end when they're in Exegol. It shows up a few times. But when I got the Rise of Skywalker, what is it? That visual guide, it's a full page. There's like 2 pages of it. I'm like, oh, damn.
Yes.
That's a cool helmet. So, sorry, Boba Fett. Sorry, the Inquisitors, Enfys, everyone else. Stormtroopers, I love you. But the Sith Fleet Technician helmet is my favorite. Currently, my favorite Star Wars helmet design. So yes, was able to get that out there. I feel, but no, I don't want to put it again. Stop that. All right. So again, if you guys are watching this at any point, let us know what your favorite helmets are, and I can't wait for the next Star Wars movies, TV shows, what type of helmets we're gonna get. Really excited. But with that said, let's jump to one of our favorite parts of the show, Rebel Thoughts. When I hear from you guys send in your questions, and we got a couple of questions today. For Rebel Thoughts, our first question comes from our friend Rachel. She's going to be here actually next week. We're going to be talking music. And Rachel, Rachel sends from Built on Stardust. Only for Meg, only, oh, I got to put that again. That was too fast. Didn't get a chance to read it. Only one keeps their helmet. Bo-Katan, Phasma, Markion, Ro. Who do you choose? It's only one of them gets to keep their helmet.
Oh. You know, Bo-Katan has already lost so much. So much. She's lost everything. Okay. Yeah. That's why she's so cranky in Mandalorian. Don't take away her helmet too. Okay. Let her keep that. The other two, they'll be fine. They'll be fine without it.
I'll jump in. I know it was for you, but I'll jump in. So Markion Ro has like 2 or 3 helmets. Semi-spoiler for the Rising Storm. I'll give you a few minutes. He gets one of his helmets destroyed. I don't know which one, but Pan Ada destroys one of them. So he has backups.
Right.
Din Djarin, love you. You don't want to take your helmet off. You're starting to learn that it doesn't matter if you take your helmet off. So yeah, just keep that poor Bo-Katan keeps her, and it's the coolest one of those 3. So she gets to keep it.
Yes.
All right. So our next question from fan of the show. I was actually on his show. Outer Rim Reads a few weeks ago, and it's gonna drop in 2 days. The first episode of season 3 of his show. And Andrew asked, let me get this. That's why you're trying to produce a show at the same time. It's always you get everything right. Okay, no worries. Okay, so Andrew asked at Outer Rim Reads for Alberto, do you like Boba's new look, or will the OG helmet always be best? For Meg, what was the first emotion to pop into your head when Bo's helmet appeared on screen? You talked a little bit about it. I'll give you a few minutes to kind of compose. So for me, again, I love Boba Fett a lot. I grew up loving this character, loving his design. But again, when this new fresh paint Boba showed up in season 2 of The Mandalorian, I fell in love with the design all over again. So sorry to the classic. I give my respects. But the new look Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett, hopefully he'll keep the same design. That for me stopped here. The fresh paint with the black accents, for me it went over the top. So if you want to talk about that one, that's fine. But mostly for you, it was what? Again, you talked about it a little bit. What emotions when that Bo-Katan helmet appeared, and what of those 2 Boba Fett helmets, which one do you prefer?
In terms of like Boba Fett, okay, I will preface this with Boba Fett is cool. He's always been cool. I acknowledge that. He was never my favorite character in, like the original trilogy. I mean, he didn't do that much. Like he just didn't stand out to me too much. But I love him in The Mandalorian. Like The Mandalorian somehow made me care about Boba Fett more than I ever thought I would. So I definitely have to go with the new design just because it's like think of like people who didn't really care about Boba Fett. Now they do. Like that's probably the helmet they're going to think about. I appreciate the original. I'm all for, the origins of all the things, but I got to go with the new one.
All right. And again, I always say, yes, Boba Fett is my favorite character, but the reason he became my favorite character is because he looked cool. I know he didn't do a lot in the beginning. Now he's getting to kind of spread his wings a little bit, knocking heads one at a time. But that new design is just so much. And then, again, you mentioned a little bit when you talked about the Bo-Katan helmet as your number 1. But a little bit, what were your emotions seeing it, again, for that first time when she kind of showed up on screen?
So, here's a story. So it's 6 a.m. on a Friday morning when this episode comes out. So I'm watching it. And, I'm with my family at the time, so everyone else is like asleep. It's fine. I scream. First of all, I am screaming, and I don't usually do that, but like I yelled because Bo-Katan is on my screen right now, and I'm the kind of person who doesn't like, I don't like to get my hopes up about certain things in Star Wars because like if it happens, great. If it doesn't, okay. So I never expected Bo-Katan to appear, first of all, ever again. Second of all, in live action. So when that happened, first of all, I forgot what emotions were for a minute. I didn't know how to exist. But really, after I got over my shock, I was just so happy. I was so happy that my favorite character, her story got to continue. Even if because at that point we didn't know if it was just this one episode or even just this one scene. Even if it had just been this one episode, that's more of her story that we wouldn't have otherwise gotten. And that just made me so happy. I love when, because Star Wars is told in so many different mediums. So I love when a character's story can be continued in something else. Hers started in animation, continued in animation, and now is continuing again in live action. I'm still happy about it. Every time I watch that episode again, I feel the same level of joy that I did the very first time. And they did it right and they did it well. And I'm so happy.
Yeah. Plus they got the real actor to come in and play her. So it was everything about bringing Bo-Katan to life worked.
Yeah.
They did it a perfect way. It doesn't matter if the character looks the same in terms of age, if it's 15, 20 years, it doesn't matter. It worked perfectly. And I really can't add anything else to it. I feel like we talked more about Bo-Katan than everything else today, but it's fine. Like
I'm here, so
yeah, it's kind of, she deserves it. And if you're here, it's bound to happen.
Yes.
All right, so that kind of brings an end to our show. We did it. We tried to keep it around 1 hour. We were able to do it. So thank you guys who are out there watching this show now or later. Thank you for all the 75 episodes that you've joined us. And as we start this 4th season of Radio Rebellion, thank you. And we'll try to do a great show when we can. And we'll take breaks from here and there. But Meg, again, as always, thank you again for coming. Hope we can have you again soon. Talk about Star Wars. We're going to be talking about Tempest Runner in a few hours, so make sure to go check that out. But apart from that, where else can our good friends out there find you?
Yeah, finding me on Twitter at Meg Dowell is probably the easiest. That's where you'll find a lot of things from Utini. If you want to get into any of the books, any of the comics, if you want to figure out what part of stories happens at what point in the timeline, we have guides, we have all the things to help you figure out, because as we talked about earlier, there are a lot of comics, there are a lot of books. It's hard to navigate. We are your resource. We can help you figure it out. We can help you find the books you want to read based on your favorite characters. Unfortunately, Bo-Katan at this time only appears in one book. It's a tragedy, but hopefully someone is working on that. So that is where you can find all my things. And I do tweet about Bo-Katan quite often. And so if you're up for that, follow me.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully, I know that we were supposed to get a Mandalorian novel at the end of season 2. Around that time, it got canceled. Yeah. Hopefully, we'll get something a little bit in the future. And now we're pretty sure that Bo-Katan is going to be involved with season 3. She has to. So hopefully, a little bit. Are you excited for season 3? Yes. Yes. So hopefully, we get a little bit more with her, not just live action, but maybe another novel or a book out there. And yes, that Utini guide is great. I've checked it out a few times to make sure I'm not falling behind on all the great Star Wars books out there. So for me, I gotta do it. I'll end with my helmet. Don't worry about my hair. We'll be covered. So you know where to find me down there, Radio Level Pod every Saturday and other places. But yeah, check out then on Tuesday after Ring Reads. I'll be there as he chats about Light of the Jedi, the High Republic, the first 3 chapters. And yeah, I think that's enough. Let me see if I can get a little voice modulation. I don't know if we can notice, but stay safe. Many again, thank you for being here. Be safe. And may the force be Radio Rebellion.